Yes, we are. You're back. Yeah, we're here.
The least you could say is hello, everybody, and welcome to the D&D stream where we do stuff in Mundus.
Yes, didn't I have a
Have some
thing for
energy,
that?
man.
I feel like I had a line. Do I have that written down? I don't know.
Maybe you should write it down.
I thought I did. I think it went something along the lines of like hello guys, gals, and binary pals.
Yeah,
It was
that's
non-binary
right.
pals.
Huh?
Non-binary.
Non-binary. Yeah, for real.
Nine-binary.
I don't want to get destroyed in the comment section.
We are all inclusive, which is why I play essentially a transgender character.
Yeah, totally. Understand. Sorry. I had a bunch of notifications pop up on my phone all at one time, and I went, "What?"
Yeah, that silence was like, I feel uncomfortable suddenly.
No, sorry. I literally every notification over like the last hour and a half just vibrated on my phone.
Oh Lord.
They were all irrelevant at this point.
So what? You like using a dinosaur phone now?
No, I have an iPhone.
Oh,
something or another. 14.
Oh, aren't you fancy?
No. So I only have an iPhone because I couldn't get an Android. Because they don't do the buy one get one free miss and match. They only do buy one get one free with Android and Android or iPhone and iPhone.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And then I got locked.
So it came down to what the wife wanted.
And yeah, so that's where we are. Another place that we are is doing the recap.
Any takers? Anyone?
If you don't mind, I'd like to try.
Go for it.
Go for it.
So, Rona had one hell of a magical shit.
Oh, indeed.
And now we're on the island. We're on Hofkeen. Turns out there's a bunch of undead. And
Is that different from usual?
Depends on who their master is. In the case of it being, quite possibly, the undead bitch asshole, yeah, it's a little different.
Is that the technical name?
His actual name is Torben.
But I call him bitch.
For those people who have not been paying attention this whole time.
Yeah, he's currently the vampire. I'm not sure what level of vampire he is. He could. We know he's some kind of vampire.
He's probably higher than us.
Who is in the service of the Sleeping King?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, wanted to make sure I had that right. Yeah, he's
as far as you guys are
Sleeping King.
As far as you guys are aware, that is who he serves. Yes.
And we haven't had anything tell us different, so that's what we're going with. Excuse me. Asta was MVP for the last bit of the session. Pass without a trace. Holy
It was
shit.
very useful. Whew.
Yeah.
I think we squeaked by 3 times, you were saying?
The DC on those skill checks were like 19. And you guys, there were multiple times where everybody succeeded literally by the nose. Like it was 3 successes, 1 failure, or 3 successes, 2 failures, with one of the successes being a 19. And I'm like, you guys are cutting it close.
Yeah, we burned a lot of inspiration to negate nat ones. I know that.
Yeah,
particularly Xenos.
Yeah.
There was somebody else too. It wasn't all
me
him.
too. It was me.
I also got 1 at one point.
Damn.
Yeah, I think you guys are.
We have one. We have one more.
One left. So.
Plus any personal inspirations we may have been holding on to.
Correct.
I know I burned my personal.
So,
Anyways, we snuck to the mountains where the fire giants, or giants in general, had been hiding last time we were here. We found a small cave, also went in, heard voices, came back, and Denock's like, this is where Zalpip told us to go, I'm going in. And when he gets through, who does he see but his teacher Zalpip?
Yay!
And that's where we left off.
yeah.
Good.
So,
Add one to the fund.
Or to
your
yourself.
personal.
I'm leaving this one for party.
Up to you. You
Okay.
did all the work.
I know. Typically, I usually have it go to the player first, if able, and then to the party. But if you would prefer to put it in the party funds, I will. That's fine too. Just let me know which one you want to do so I can add it later.
Like I said, party fun.
Okay. All right.
Very nice.
So I'm gonna play this. Maybe. Okay, there it comes. Turn the volume down just a little bit because it is not very loud, but coming from Zalpip releases you from the hug and the embrace that you had found yourself in, Denock. You do begin to hear the bustle of like a small city effectively behind the door that you guys are currently sitting in front of within this room. And Zalpip kind of rises. Well, I mean, he's already standing. You're kind of on your knees, and he kind of just goes, I am glad that you guys have returned safely. We have a lot to talk about. Would you please follow me? And he is going to begin leading you from the small entry chamber that you guys have entered through.
I lean down to face
the
the hole
antechamber?
and call.
Hmm?
I lean down to face the hole and call the rest of the group in.
Okay. I think most of them were crawling closely behind you at that point, but yeah.
Yes.
Is that not... And you said the antechamber? Is that not what they're called?
I believe so.
Yeah.
A small little entry point
Yeah.
that leads to a much larger area.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So you just questioned it like I was insane, and now I questioned my existence.
No. You said the small little entryway that you're in. I said the antechamber.
I thought I said antechamber. Wow, my brain...
Nope.
Anyway.
You absorbed the thoughts from...
Okay. As the rest of you guys make your way in,
Yeah.
Zalpip opens the door from this antechamber, and as you guys walk out, you guys do see a familiar sight. You guys see these large, kind of cavernous hallways of the fire giant's fortress that you guys had encountered the last time you were here in Hofking. However, now you see rows and rows of like scaffolding that have been constructed as like walkways and ways to traverse the area, and also to provide other hidey holes that you can see. Kind of looking up, you see like small outcroppings that are probably anywhere from 20 to 60 feet up, and Zalpip begins leading you guys towards where you remember Fodor having his kind of personal chambers. Or at the very least, Denock would.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there anything you guys wish to say or discuss en route?
I'll make the comment that, well, this place has certainly seen better days.
It has, and unfortunately, it's seen more people as well, and you can kind of tell. You can kind of tell looking. Go over there. You can kind of tell looking around at some of the individuals in this area as well, that you can see that some of them are bandaged, or some of them even on like my brain just stopped. Crutches, that's the word. On crutches, and are struggling to get around. Here, bud, you want to draw? Okay. But yeah, that's what he would say to that kind of comment, and continue leading you before emerging
Oh,
into the.
speaking of giants, since we happen to be in their cave system, I don't suppose there's anybody here who has studied well enough to learn the giants' language. Asking Zolpip.
Zalpip. Sorry, I'm trying to process through people. He would. I'm unsure per se, but I would imagine that there would be somebody who speaks, or at the very least reads the writing. The giants have been here on Hofkin for a very long time, so I would imagine somebody would be able to speak their tongue at this point in time.
I mean, I know it's a shot in the dark, but I'd like to be able to find someone who does understand giants, and maybe take a few lessons from them. There's a wealth of knowledge aboard the Laputa that I would like to be able to get my hands on if I could just at least read their script.
Is the Laputa here? You kind of see him
No, it.
get
We had a
get a gleam in his eye a little bit.
magical mishap again.
Oh,
It would have been difficult to bring the Laputa up here unnoticed. And in my frustrations, I discovered that apparently I can teleport large groups of people.
you
Now the
kind of
question
see
is how we're going to get back to the Laputa.
Maybe teleport again. I'm sure it'll be easier the second time, now that I know what to expect. And I kind of have a better idea of where we'd be going this time.
If you don't explode it into a fireball.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Yes.
That's the sad thing.
shame. We really could have done with the Laputa and the men aboard. Anyway, alright, and he will open a door, and that will lead into kind of the personal chambers of Fodor that has been reconstructed for the sake of words here into a makeshift war room. And presently sitting around a table, kind of having a little bit of a hushed conversation as you come in, you see where are they? There it is. You would see both of Dinock's parents. Hold on, I'm looking for the name. Dur and Loss. You would see Rel, and I believe her father Inran, as well as Boblin, sitting kind of along, or kind of around this kind of round table, having kind of a hushed conversation when the door kind of opens and the heads kind of begin turning in your direction. And you can see...
Who was Duran Loss again?
Dur and Loss are Dinock's parents.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, their
Okay,
names are...
rolling. What would be the roll for keeping from tearing up?
Constitution.
On, probably.
Or wisdom, maybe.
Save or check?
I would say save.
He gets a little misty-eyed, but he doesn't start full-on crying yet.
Hey, Blind, check the sensitivity of your audio. We are every now and then getting feedback on your end.
Feedback? I haven't heard a thing.
I've heard
I'm hearing, yeah.
pretty much
I've
every
heard a lot.
time. Yeah, pretty much every time somebody speaks, I'm hearing just a little bit from them.
Maybe I don't have my volume up high enough.
Mm. And you can see as you guys walk into the door with Denock being closely behind Zalpip, nearly everybody in the room beginning to stand and are like, oh, Denock and his friends, and murmuring basically something that was unexpected has just happened within their midst and has definitely changed their tune and mood. Denock, your parents would come over and give you a big hug, tears beginning to stream down their face.
Definitely return it.
With the big hug and you then feel like a small punch in your like the side of your knee, and you look down and there's Boblin kind of standing beside you. Kind of smiling big, misty, kind of slightly misty-eyed, but you can definitely tell he's fighting back tears.
Reach down and just full on pick him up and hug him. Best I can.
Actually, he is, because of his age, he is going to attempt to avoid that. So go ahead and make a grapple check. I guess that's an athletics check for you.
Fun.
Whew.
I mean, how about an 18?
Okay, well, I rolled a natural 17, so you like go to like hug him, and it's just Poe and Master Shifu, just whoop. But he smiles. And Inren, the half dragon, black half dragon man born, kind of stands and goes, Denock, it's really good to see you and your allies again. I feel like we have a lot to discuss.
I'm just happy to be able to see faces I recognize again.
Yeah, speaking of recognizing, there's at least one among your midst that I don't recognize. He kind of looks past, and I don't believe he's here. Blind, the bearded one, are you here?
Not me yet.
Yeah, I'm here.
No, he's not here yet. Okay, that's fine. Zal,
No, he is here.
oh, he is?
Yeah.
Okay. Zalpip, for the sake of argument, or not Zalpip, Xenos, for the sake of expediency, introduces himself and claims, being a new traveling comrade of yours and being who he is. And you guys
Yes,
vouch
I
for him.
replaced
no
Garden.
issues. No issues. So, all right.
And yes, Anran is a black half dragon.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
I went back to my notes and checked just to make sure.
Yeah, I have some of the notes pulled up as well. It's just a matter of filtering through all of them because I have a lot of notes. And for some stupid reason, I didn't put them all in one document.
Lol.
Whoops.
Yeah. So I have like 4
Wow.
documents open for this.
Real quick, Denock's going to look around for hopefully Munax or Onik, grandfather or grandmother.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
His grandparents? I believe we did.
You met
We
the
met
grandfather.
Munax.
17?
Oh, yeah.
You don't
He,
see them.
he had the weird fox thing.
You don't see them in this room. But whether or not they are here, you don't know. Zalpip kind of speaks up again and kind of goes, "So, we have a lot to talk about. Why don't you guys come and sit, and we can begin filling you in on what we know, and what you guys can fill us in on what you know." Is there any information that you guys wish to make known to the members of this makeshift council?
Actually talk about on.
It might be a good idea to tell them about what we learned about the islands falling. Maybe
There you go.
uh, the 7 sins that we still have to track down. Tenebris.
Okay. The Tenebris and the Sins, they would know nothing about and have no insight or any ability to help in that regard. In terms
Okay.
of On, they would be glad to know that he has returned to power, or to some of his former power, but is unsure of how he would be able to help currently, given that a lot of various kinds of magic have seemed to, or sorry, various kinds of divination magic have seemed to stop working. Which will lead them into, because I imagine that would catch Balinar's attention.
Yeah.
Which they would lead them into explaining minor divination magic still kind of works. But currently there is no working resurrection magic.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
Great.
Oh no.
No one die.
Yeah, they would explain
Does
that.
that
That sounds like such a great time.
Uh-huh.
wait? Does that also mean that there's no healing?
Healing still seems to work, they would report. It just,
Okay.
if you...
And necromancy?
Necromancy does not seem to be affected.
Okay, because that to me sounds like a type of resurrection magic. No way.
Technically, it's not, because most undead are controlled and very rarely have sentience.
Okay.
Even
so any
Tim,
kind of
technically he's just going off of set programming that I've given him to react like he is acting like he's a somewhat thinking being.
Right.
But he's still an undead that is
Mhm.
controlled by me.
Correct. Okay, so... they would go on to explain, or Zalpip would be, that the island of Hofking has kind of been trapped into a endless night situation. The weather dome that protects this city has been altered and corrupted, I guess would be the word, and it is now forever night here on the island. There are undead patrols everywhere, usually ranging anywhere from 6 to 10 in a group. They're everywhere. And of the population that you do not see here, are currently being herded like cattle at various locations around Hofking. Most of them are being used as a supply of blood to Torben and his followers and other vampiric creatures. lot of
And
the
the
cities.
others?
I'm sorry.
Denox says, and the rest.
They are not in one of these two groups. They are most likely either with Torben or dead. And when I say with Torben, I mean converted to Torben's likeness.
Horde. Troubling to
Oh.
say the least.
Mm-hmm. A large portion of the city has also been rebuilt in order to kind of create more space for the population, as well as the town hall has become like an open, isolated island. It is not surrounded by buildings anymore, but instead there's several, lengths of a distance between the nearest building and the front doors of the town hall. Why this has happened, I am unsure, but I think it has something to do with some of the weapons that Torben and his minions are trying to create and build. Excuse me. Oh, and he's erected a statue of himself. That's minor details, but I figured it would annoy Dina.
And where is the statue located?
Directly out front of the town hall.
Bare minimum, I'm removing its dick.
So you'll unerect it. Anyways, ow.
There it is.
Anyways, I was going to suggest going and taking out the weather dome or fixing the weather dome as our first order of business. But that statue of Torben now has my attention.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Sunshine, but there's a lot going on here that needs to be probably explained before you get ready to go anywhere guns blazing.
Okay.
Because while this all seems bad and dark, it gets worse.
It gets worse?
Boy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Some of our scouts report that there is talk of Torben having created or is in the process of creating, I don't even know what to call it, an archgate, I guess is what most would refer to it as.
A what?
Archgate. Magic that connects two planes of existence to each other.
Oh, no.
And he plans to use blood magic to open it to bring the sleeping king from his domain to the material plane. From what we have heard through this. Also, want to guess at whose blood he's willing to use? I can tell you it's not his.
Not his.
Why else would he?
Denox?
Why else would he keep all of these people locked up and imprisoned but alive?
He's going to use the people of Hofkin.
That is our belief. We also believe that we have about 3 or 4 days before this happens.
Shit.
That's not a lot of time to act.
It's not. And
It's a good thing we didn't take the Lappy to get here.
you guys would have only lost like a day of time, honestly, above game.
Still.
Mm-hmm. There was a couple other things that I'm looking for. So, there's also the problem of Torben's bodyguards. And I do believe that you are familiar with both of them. You looks at Denoch. One of them you guys are more familiar with, I believe. Jean, if you remember correctly. I believe you guys encountered him last time you were here. Jean. So, for those of you who don't remember, he was the spellcaster who was fighting alongside Torben and the other guy. I don't remember the other guy's name. Jor. Thank you.
Oh, I remember.
It's
I remember
Jean,
Jor.
Genethus, and Jor Tam, if I'm correct.
Well, Mr. Tam is no longer with you. He is.
Well, I know, but I'm
deceased.
saying he was one of the two bodyguards
Yes.
who we convinced to turn.
Mhm.
And then got him killed in the fight.
Oh, so who was the second bodyguard? Do we hear?
Jean
Oh.
Genethus.
So Jean is the one that is currently still alive, and he hasn't told you the name of the second individual yet.
Oh, okay.
And you watch as he kind of. The other ones. The other ally that you
Rip.
came here with.
Rip.
No.
Shit!
He kind of just looks down at the table.
John?
He got John.
No.
I'm sorry, Denoch. We did try to get to him as soon as we knew you guys were gone, but
I'm almost about to cry real tears.
I'm afraid it was almost too late at that point. Torben had already somehow found him.
Who is this John fella?
Damn good friend.
Wrong accent.
Almost.
What?
And almost a love interest of mine. Almost.
You were flirting, but I don't think it was reciprocated.
Definitely wasn't. But I tried. It doesn't help that I almost killed his mother.
Well, was it twice, actually?
Once. Accidental poisoning. Trying to maintain my appearance.
I felt like it was twice, but I...
Who knows?
Don't know.
You've poisoned so many people at this point.
Just the... Only really one or two? I don't think there was more than that.
Now, fortunately, we do have some means of knowing where Torben, John, and Jean are going to be at and when. So the information that kind of exists is Torben typically keeps to a pretty tight schedule. In the morning he has his breakfast and then checks on the people that are imprisoned. All these individuals that are within these like herded areas. And most of them seem to be located within close proximity to the town hall that he occupies. Then around noon, he has a short meeting with the council members to see how things are going in each district. There are many different things people are doing within the council under his direction, either through mind control, beliefs, blackmail, or money.
Or a combination of all the above.
Correct. To our knowledge, there are only 2 on the council who are not currently under his influence per se. One is Rel, and he will turn and look to Rel, who kind of just speaks. It's like, well, we have agreed to do things for him for money, as we need to be able to buy food and things like that. However, we have been making sure to keep the things that we do to a minimum. Zalpip continues and is kind of like, and the other is Quasar.
Quasar. I figured.
I shouldn't need to say much more than the reason why, but make sure you leave it
He's
here,
the
okay?
Lich.
Yep. He basically does what he wants and currently has no interest in what Torben is doing. So he doesn't hinder him, but he doesn't aid him either. Ryder, bring that back here.
Uh-oh.
Hey, squirt. Give it to me. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah. After the meeting, he usually sends John and Jean to whatever district seems to need, or ward seems to need the most help. No. No, Ryder. Oh my gosh.
It is not yours.
Do we need a 5-minute break for you to deal?
No, he's just trying to take my dice. That's not going to change.
Oh, that can change.
You've made a dice gremlin.
I have.
Get him his own set so he's not interested in yours anymore.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen anytime soon, I don't think.
Well, I mean, get him a
so-
set of big plushy ones, like the one you lost at my place,
Right. So
which we
He sends a-
still haven't found somehow.
I don't really care at this point. He kind of continues. John and Jean rarely go to the same ward, so that is beneficial. We'll come to that. And then Torben goes to the town hall, and as it has been remodeled, we're not sure what the insides look like. And then he remains in there until, I would say, probably close to midnight, if it wasn't for the fact that it's always dark. No. Excuse me. And then afterwards, he goes into the catacombs, and he tries to navigate the labyrinth beneath the city. I don't know why per se. My best get is he's trying to use the labyrinth to find or make his way to. Sorry, I'm looking for the name again. Elder Vale.
Uh-oh.
That's my best guess.
Tinoch, wasn't that where you said that the hang on, I'll get it. Where the Tarask? Is that right? Where the Tarask was at?
Elder Vale is a Tarask, yes.
Oh, the Elder. Oh, Elder Vale is the name of the Tarask. I thought it was a location. Sorry. No wonder I couldn't find it on the map.
And then the weapons are also a concern, but we haven't been able to gather much information on those as of yet.
He has magical weapons of some kind. Of course he does. Of course.
Not even sure if they're magical, but yes. Like I said, we have very little information on those. Other than it's dangerous.
At least tell me he has not found Give me a second. Looking for. Because I know I gave both of them.
Where did it go?
Titles.
We have a lot of work ahead of us.
Yeah.
I know who you're
Told me
talking
that
Okay.
book is Korath,
Korath. Okay. He
the Kraken.
Oh, the Kraken.
Tell me he has not found Mother Korath.
Don't die.
Okay, he's good. No.
Yeah.
He has not managed to find her lair yet. No. But I do believe that is what one of the wards is currently working on. So, there is, as you said, a lot to do. So,
I have to prioritize. Perhaps we should look at a map and figure out our best course of action
this is
based
where
on timetables we have.
this is where we get into
Decision.
stop. This is actually where we get into a sort of a kind of a new mechanic kind of a thing that we're going to be doing, because otherwise we could spend a year in Hofkane.
In real time or in the game?
Yes. So, the way that this is going to do or work is I'm going to break down each day into what I'm going to call time segments. Okay?
Oh yeah, we started discussing
Yes.
this last time.
Yes, we did. And I'm going to go over all of it again while we have some fresh minds. Oh, good job. With each time segment, each person will be able to do something. You can also have your quote-unquote freedom fighters attempt to do something as well. They are not going to be as good as you. However, you can send individual leaders who will have decent bonuses to certain things that they are good at. And I will go ahead and tell you as soon as my mouse decides to scroll. So here's the way you're gonna do it. If you're going to send non-named NPCs, they will just have a flat D20 roll for whatever it is they are attempting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you send any of the named NPCs, okay, they will have better bonuses. They're probably not going to be as good as your guys' bonuses, but it's better than a flat D20.
They'll
And
probably
there's
have
also-
like a +2.
You don't know. Zalpit,
There's
I
always
said probably.
yeah.
Ooh,
There is
okay.
always a risk that whoever we send to any location could also potentially die.
Yes, that is always a possibility, especially if they roll poorly. So,
Especially if we send the wrong people to the wrong locations.
yes. So
This is feeling like the damn suicide mission at the end of Mass Effect 2.
That's
I was-
exactly what I was thinking.
I was actually thinking more like Fire Emblem.
So
Also true.
here's how it works. I'm going to go around your table of individuals here. You have Zalpip, who is basically the brains of this organization. He is really good at investigating and turning up information while blending into the city. Okay, so he's really good at investigating and,
So he's
remaining
kind of like
honest.
good at spy work.
Kind of, yeah. Not necessarily. I don't want to say stealth is his forte, but investigating and then kind of just blending in with masses. He's a
Okay, so he's a detective.
yeah, he's a halfling if I remember correctly. So he's like
No.
no gnome. He's a
No,
gnome. isn't he?
Zalpip is a gnome.
He's a gnome?
Yeah, so he's
Zalpip?
Yep.
This whole time, I was imagining somebody at the same height or taller than Denock. I didn't realize he was a gnome.
No, he's a
No,
gnome.
full on a gnome.
We never discussed what it was he
No, we
actually
did.
was. I don't think.
We did forever ago, but
Oh my god, I didn't remember this. Okay, that's cool.
So, Boblin is a goblin scout, effectively. He is very good at stealth and sabotage.
Ooh. Okay.
You have Rel. Hey, buddy, please don't climb on that yet. You have Rel, who works closely with Zalpip at times with organizing all of this. And she is very good at persuading and bribing.
Because of her position of power.
Correct. Enran has been working with Dur, trying to figure out a way to tap into the dragon's blood that runs through his veins, mainly as a way of potentially having a weapon for later, as like a last resort kind of a thing. But due to that, he is very strong. He is very good at strength-based tasks, breaking things, and intimidation. So he's kind of like your bruiser.
Which is interesting considering he's one
I
of the
know.
leaders.
He was one of the leaders. I want to remind you of that. He retired, and Rel, his daughter, has taken his place on the council. And then you have Lass. Lass is less of a individual who's going to go out and do things, but she is a doctor, kind of / healer. So, if you were to send her with let's say a group of NPCs, their success rate at doing particular things that would involve fighting increases.
Okay.
So those are your named NPCs that you can do. Dur is not a named NPC that you can send out because he is an individual who is not combat trained.
He's an interior researcher.
Yeah, he is very much the uber nerd at the table.
So he would be good as an individual to hold down the fort and essentially take all the information that we gather and all the tasks that we do and organize them for us and keep the information straight.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So
that's his task. I'm assigning that right now.
So, building off of all of that, building off of that, not you, my child. There are going to be.
I think every single dog listening just sat their butt down.
Okay.
No. Every time segment has the possibility to affect what is known as an incognito score. Okay? I know he's been. Do you want to take him and I'll jump up and do it? Alright. Take 5, everybody. I gotta change a stinky diaper.
Perfect. I have to use the bathroom myself.
No worries.
So,
taking
5, going right now.
Yep. Boom.
Okay.
And we're back.
Yay! Diaper has been changed.
Yeah.
Hopefully the little one will zip his lips.
Maybe. We'll see. Let's see. So the incognito score is effectively how well hidden you guys are. And how close to on your trail or on your scent, for example, Torben is. Okay? You guys do not know what your incognito score is currently, but if it ever reaches 0, it's game over. And I don't mean that game over as in like we're just starting a new campaign. It's game over as in you guys will be assaulted by the legions of undead that Torben has at his disposal. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I am going to give you guys time to talk about what kind of goals you guys would like to set or attempt to achieve in the next 3 to 4 days. Like I said, each day is going to be broken down into 4 time segments. One of those time segments you will have to use to sleep, or you will take a level of exhaustion. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I will also go ahead and say, kind of above game, the council people would make the recommendations of like potential goals of like spreading hope to the people, and that's mainly to kind of help increase morale and things like that across the city. They have a rescue a group of Nurgle clerics and paladins, which would just add to your, which would add to your overall fighting force later. Prevent both of Torben's bodyguards from being able to come to his aid. And I use the word prevent there because who knows how you guys would wish to approach that situation. And then reduce Torben's control over the council, destroy the weapons, destroy the portal, and then kill Torben. Those are the general goals that this council would suggest as options. Obviously, you can choose to do none of them, all of them, or make your own. It's ultimately up to you guys. Those are just some general ones that Zalpip and the rest would kind of be like, these are things that we have thought about doing. And now they're looking for your thoughts, feedback, and input.
One goal I believe we should attempt is to, best case scenario, reverse the weather dome, set it to eternal day, at least until we eliminate Torben and his law. Best case scenario, that would prevent them from being too active on the surface.
We also have to keep in mind that whatever tasks we accomplish, it's likely to get the attention of Torben and his men, and they will likely shore up defenses in key areas as a result. I feel like
I forgot to mention that part too. All of the things that you're going to be trying to do, other than things that are very obvious, like combat kind of things, or I have to go to this area and then find what I'm looking for, are going to be basically skill checks. The degree of which your skill check is will affect your incognito score and the to the degree of success you have at locating, destroying, etc. Okay? I forgot to mention that. That's my fault.
there's also nothing that says that we can't go with the groups either. Yes, it's splitting the party, but there's nothing that says that we can't go with our own set of expertise to either round out the teams we send out or help to bolster them. Such as, combat may not be my biggest skill, but, say we need to bribe our way into the Weather Dome. I'm pretty good with charisma-based abilities, so I would be able to help persuade in that situation.
At the same time, though, we need to be careful to not let Corbin have any word that we are here, or else,
Right.
yeah, the whole thing goes cold.
Yeah. As soon as one of our teams accomplishes their mission, he's going to take notice, and that's when he'll probably realize we've come back. So I feel like the more ground we can cover at once, and the more tasks we can accomplish quickly, the less time he'll have to react and, be caught by complete surprise. After all, if he's down in the catacombs pretty much throughout the night, that means he could literally be anywhere underneath the city. But that also means that while he's out of his home base, the rest of the other places are his resources will be spread more thin. And I feel like that would be a good time for us to take on his bodyguards or infiltrate one of his facilities and sabotage.
As long as he does not have mental connection to his unit.
Right. It also may be that divination spells may not work for us, but he might have sensors everywhere.
I will also tell you guys that if you choose to attempt to take down both bodyguards, you will most likely have to split the party. And that's me as a DM saying that because if you go after one as a group, the other one they're gonna catch on. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
So with the two guards, you will pretty much have to hit them simultaneously. Now, that's not to say that you couldn't take other individuals with you, named NPCs or filler characters.
Otherwise. Right.
As cannon fodder, but I will also say that there is no group of individuals that you could send after either of these individuals and with a high success rate.
I don't know anything about Gene's abilities, but I know John is pretty damn strong. And if he's been
You do know Gene's abilities. He's a vampire with high level spellcasting.
Oh, okay.
You guys fought him before.
Right. He might have been the one that killed me.
I don't remember.
Pretty sure that was Torben himself.
Probably.
It was somebody there.
He's a greedy man.
No, duh!
That being said, if we
I swear, every single session, it's like, well, here's the bad choice, and here's the worst choice.
Yeah.
Give us a nice, simple, straightforward issue to deal with.
Well, the only thing here that is really that we have a time crunch for is we have pretty much a half a week to shut down his archgate. So that is definitely a high priority task. That should be one of the first things we try to accomplish to buy ourselves more time. Even if it's just, we go and we bust it up a little bit just to buy us a few more days. That should be one of our high priority tasks. The other one would be the weather dome. As soon as we can get the lights back on, it'll slow them down significantly.
I was thinking rescue the prisoners, because if he's going to use them as a blood sacrifice, then either he's not going to be able to do the blood sacrifice if we save them, or he'll have to weaken his own forces to do it.
That doesn't sound like a safe idea. I mean, undead and vampires don't make for good blood sacrifice. But
Exactly.
if we go rescue the people, it wouldn't be terribly difficult for him to essentially track them back to where the rest of us are at. And then they know where we're holed up. And he'll have more sacrifices. Actually, our best bet is to turn the sun back on, because that would slow down all of their plans greatly. They'd lose half of the time that they have for work.
Or if not that, actually all of it. If we can, like I said, turn the weather dome to be always day.
Perpetual day. Ah,
I said that
it'll.
twice.
I must not have been present for that. Remember, I came back in and I put on my headset and I'm like, oh crap, they started planning already. Uh-oh.
Oh, I didn't know you weren't here. I thought you were here.
No, I was sending messages from my phone
Oops, my bad.
while I was thinking on it. It's okay.
Oh well.
I mean, I said that before the break started.
I must have also walked away just in time for that. Sorry, I missed it. One way or the other.
I like the idea, Enoch. I liked it the first time you said it.
I like it the third time, so that is a good idea. It would complicate a couple things though, because then if the vampires are having to hide inside or move around in the catacomb, they'll be well grouped together, and any kind of plan of attack would be very difficult. As long as they have free reign of the city, they can remain spread out.
Deanoch will just kind of look at Katya, then kind of gesture to both himself and Valinar. What do we do the best?
Break things? Kill undead.
Deanoch will light a wick of fire.
Oh, I see. Make them
It's
more
called
densely
up-
populated so you can burn them all quicker.
Yes, it's called upscaled fireball.
Or if his undead aren't around, I can just attack the undead directly. I think Garden's the only one who's actually seen me do that.
See, I'm not super, like, I can do undead, but it's about the same amount of effectiveness.
Either way, it would appear that our best bet is to hit the weather dome first, then. Because then that 3 to 4 days could become until they figure out how to get the weather dome back, or I guess there is no other alternative.
Well, I know we need to have some plan of what Torben has at the Weather Dome. So
Then
have
uh,
some of the group go scout.
We could have one scout and maybe one as a distraction. Boblin would be very great for anything stealth related. Sneaking in, breaking things. And if we sent Rel with him, with her position of power, she would be able to. If I heard correctly, she was kind of working, air quotes, with Torben.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be unheard of for her to go and say, "Hey, I'm making a routine inspection of the premise to make sure everything is up to spec."
Deanoch will turn to Rel and ask, how likely is that to fly?
Let me check my notes.
I see what you did there.
Because honestly, he knows how close she was to me.
But he doesn't know we're here.
yet. But if she starts making overt moves,
Right.
he will think either that the group is preparing for our return,
Whew.
or we're already here. In which case, he will lock things down.
Right.
So actually, excuse me. Actually, it wouldn't be all that strange. It might be strange if I myself appear there, but maybe not too strange. After all, it is the June family that maintains the weather dome itself, but again, we didn't have a force enough to fight back initially, so when Torben requested for an eternal night, we had no reason to object. The darkness doesn't really affect the undead, and it doesn't really inhibit the few people still remaining and living within the city.
Do you think it would be outside of your realm of possibility to convince them they've got the place too well guarded and maybe direct them to send some of their forces to bolster a lesser protected location?
I'm not sure
One
if
that-
that would be. I don't know if that would be the best course of action, but I definitely think I could. What's
Or
what
at
I'm
least get
looking
us the
for?
numbers.
I'm pretty sure that I could convince a few guards not to show up for their shift.
Or if you show up after an attack somewhere, that'll give reason for you to be there.
This is true.
So we would have to. We obviously would not be able to make an appearance for said attack elsewhere. We would have to send a group to do that for us as a distraction. Because as soon as we show our faces, everything gets that much harder.
Well, if Zalpip can build me a bomb or something, I definitely could cause a distraction. As Boblin says, kind of grinning that chaotic gremlin energy smile. You know the one.
Oh yeah.
So how long would it take to build a bomb of that size, Zalpip?
Enough for a distraction? I feel like we got some of those in storage.
Well, the real question is, do we really want to trust him
A 19-year-old
with a bomb? I mean, most of the city is destroyed, so I guess it doesn't really matter where you place it.
Wait a sec. Real quick above game. What does it take to summon Tim to my side? Because remember, he's still on the surface.
That is a very good question, Mike.
Because you said I could.
Well, I think technically I was thinking that you could summon him the next day. I think is what what I meant, but I probably just didn't say that. Because I'm trying to remember.
Wouldn't it be the same as essentially summoning a spirit of any sort? Just you call them and they appear?
I don't have enough material.
Oh, that's why you've just been maintaining.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I'll have to check my notes and stuff. On the animate dead thing. Hold on.
That's why I didn't, try anything when we were being teleported.
I didn't document anything about it. About that particular thing. It's such a niche circumstance of things to happen that it basically was in the 1% chance that it would happen. But given the fact that you guys are high level, I'll say it's easy enough to like dismiss his existence and resummon him without having to burn a spell slot currently. I might argue that later just because of like otherwise that could get really busted.
Yeah, like, oh shit, we're in the middle of combat and I don't have Tim. Hey, Tim!
Well, he would.
I mean, as long as
as long as he cast him and the spell slot's gone, I don't think it'll be an issue. But
Right.
as long as I don't abuse this.
Correct.
We're just using this to fix a minor issue that came up.
Okay.
Sound fair?
Yep. Oh.
So wherever we decide to use the bomb as a disruption needs to be somewhere a little ways away from the weather dome. That way, when we start messing with the weather dome, we don't have to worry about the guards being within, walking distance of reaching us before we can stop before we can finish what we're doing.
Also, we need to make sure that there is a reasonable amount of time between the bomb going off and Rel getting there that they don't. No one with enough brain cells to think would think much of it.
Right. Tonight we set the bomb. Cause some chaos. And then tomorrow, Rel can do the follow-up. That'll give us a chance to rest so that we can recover our energy before we have to do anything.
So can we say I summon Tim right now? Because...
Mhm.
Okay. And then Tim will protect Boblin. Tim. And Tim will materialize.
I feel like out of her reaction, Boblin like holy crap and like fires a shot through Tim. Oh my gosh, that would hit, I would assume. It's over 20.
Yeah, it'll hit.
It's a hand crossbow, so he takes 5 points of piercing damage, non-magical, so 3.
Oh.
Chump
Tim
change,
will
but...
reach over and scratch the spot. As though a mosquito bit. Oh no.
Oh, sad baby.
I don't understand, because he was acting hungry and he was eating and then he started crying.
Yeah, babies. They don't know what they want. They don't know what's good for them.
Okay. So
he just wanted to cry for crying's sake.
I guess.
And he got it out of him.
So
yeah,
I guess my question is, what are you guys doing? Because Boblin's gonna go blow something up, and then a few hours later, Rel is going to appear and convince guards not to show up. Is that what you're wanting them to do?
Or reinforce that affected.
The affected area.
Yeah.
You cut off when you started the A.
Sorry. Effective area.
Okay. So what are you guys doing?
Well, I'm saying we do this a little bit later, because I don't know about y'all, but when he had his magical shit...
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
look at my tail! Look at my tail! Look at the bruises!
We don't have to specifically go right now. Like I said, we could set these plans in motion, and then we can rest while they go start on the process. Furthermore, we need more information about those weapons that Torben is building, and maybe more about the Archgate as well. If Zolpip can use his investigative powers to find out more about that, it would be greatly appreciated.
Okay. So it sounds like you guys are going to use one of the... Oh, yeah, right, because you guys took several hours to travel here. I'm going to say that there's 2 time segments left for today. So basically, you guys have time to do one thing and then sleep if you wanted to.
Right. So set the bomb.
Do you want to blow it up? Because that could all be part of the same...
Well, the question is, how do we set up the bomb and then blow it up later? Like,
Remotely?
I don't think that exists in this tech period.
I mean, just need somebody to plant it somewhere and then light the fuse and run. That's all we really need.
You're acting like it's all going to be in the same period. Because that's not where I was coming from.
See, if we've got above game, if we've got 4 time segments in a day, each 6 hours, correct?
Yes. Yes. Roughly.
Okay. 6 hours is plenty of time to find a location, set up a bomb, and light the fuse, and then return back.
Right, but when are you wanting that fuse to go off?
As soon as possible?
Okay.
Because that's not where I was going.
Where are you going?
The next day's first time segment. Or start after we wake up so that we're awake, we're able to do things.
In the
if things
case,
go to
I
shit.
see. In the case things go to shit, we had to be prepared.
Yes, you're...
I see. We should definitely do that then. Take the night, rest, maybe catch up with everybody. Because after today, there is a chance some of these people may not be back. Always
At that,
a
you
chance.
will see Deanoch clench his fist.
It's a risk we all take every day.
But that is a risk I am willing to take. I will say that just because Hofkeen is technically more technologically advanced, I would say that you could have a remote detonator for a bomb. I would say that you could only have one remote detonator for a bomb at this stage, though. If you would like to spend a time segment to create more, you could potentially try to do that. But it's effectively just putting the glyph of warding on a trigger of some kind. So I would say that's doable, effectively.
Okay.
Because, yeah, you can further refine the trigger so the spell activates under only certain circumstances according to physical characteristics. So, creature kind, for example, or a password. So, you could I would say, because of the technology, they could have easily augmented that for like certain sounds. So like high pitched whistle or something, relatively basic.
Mm-hmm.
So that I would say that that's possible. So you guys could plant a bomb tonight and have a remote detonator for tomorrow.
Okay.
Is that the only activity that you guys would like to do for tonight?
Actually, yes, because in the ensuing chaos, it wouldn't do any good to send anybody for intel until things calm down a little bit. Then we can see what they do with this.
Okay. So, who are you sending to place the bomb? It can be anyone from your group. It can be one of the NPCs. It can be one of the named NPCs.
I would say Boblin and Asta,
Good idea.
and Tim will go with them.
Okay. And I will ask Asta then. Asta, would you like to make a check at advantage, or have you and Boblin each roll a check?
I think I make a check.
I'm gonna assume that was I'll make a check with advantage.
Yes, that was. I'll make.
Because you ended at, like, first quarter of advantage.
Yeah, Discord
Yeah.
did not like that and basically told you to shut up and cut you off.
It was too high pitched for it to pick up.
Discord hates your Asta voice.
And what was the roll again?
I didn't
After
give
that.
you one. I didn't give
Okay.
you one.
But it will be at advantage.
So let me get a piece of paper here to write some things down.
Oh, by the way, Tim will be invisible.
I assumed that's why he's not going to affect this check.
I just wanted it to be said so that it was said.
Fair enough. I'm also not that DM to come back and be like, well, you didn't say that.
It's more for the
Yeah.
audience so that they hear.
Oh, good lord, this notebook's practically full. Okay.
Nice.
How much of it is our stuff?
All of it?
Nice.
Oh, this one will do.
I would have gone through probably 2 or 3 notebooks on just the notes alone by this point.
Oh, absolutely. Most of the note stuff that I take are things that I want, like written down, or things that I want to be able to have quick, easy access to. Like, for example, I have quick, easy access to the Pantheon. I have quick, easy access to what happens when you guys fight John?
That's gonna be rough.
How long have you had been saying on that?
I'd have to go back through my Discord messages with Ginger.
Oh, you mean Ginger approved this?
Mm-hmm. He did.
Oh shit! For entertainment purposes, we're fucked.
I haven't been able to convince him yet, but I have been trying to talk to him into coming back and playing this John and beat the crap out of you guys with it.
Oh no, player versus player moments. He gets the party wipe, and then the DM's like, well, I didn't kill anybody.
Give me just half a second here, guys.
Time's up.
Does anyone know where the undead that Torben's getting are coming from?
Probably the bodies that he's drained.
Probably Denock.
Excuse you, what?
All the things we've killed.
No, I was just wondering if they were
Excuse
coming
your
through that
ass.
portal.
Well, you see, after everything went dark. They all just started lining up outside of Torben's castle. It was the strangest thing.
That's not what I wanted to look at. There you go.
Okay. Sorry, I had to move Rip Light. Okay. 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 So you guys are going to be moving and just attempting to plant a bomb. Oh, you broke that turkey. So,
I'm sorry?
I will
Huh?
say, Asta, go ahead and roll a stealth check with advantage. Since you're taking the aid from Boblin.
Do you want to start with Pass Without a Trace first, or
She does not have any spell slots for it.
shit? Right.
Yeah.
And to my knowledge, nobody else can cast it.
To my knowledge, I cannot pass along any of my magic to her because that's not how things work.
I'm pretty sure Asta can cast Pass Without Trace.
No, she
She
used
can't
all
right
of her.
now. We've used them all.
Yeah, she used all of her castings of it.
All of them on the time, yeah.
Yep.
To get through the.
Well, in the case the shit hits the fan, she's there for moral support and or
She
shooting
has
things.
advantage and a plus 15 to the check. Roll it.
Yeah, never know what happens.
I know, but
We'll roll with it.
it's possible that she could roll 2
I mean,
nat
I
ones,
have
but-
one way so that she can cast it again.
Oh, well, she'd have to attune to it. But... Hello, Asta.
So she's rolling what?
Stealth with advantage.
Stealth.
Oh, okay. Easy money.
Ooh. Well.
Natural 20.
Okay. Perfect
Okay.
success.
Yeah, normal player had to step out for a sec, so.
No worries.
Hold on a
Define
second,
normal.
I'm gonna need to.
Okay. Yeah, you guys set the bomb, plant it, set the detonator to remote. You walk away with the remote and you return with no issues. Not with a natural 20 for a total of 35 on your stealth check. So if you guys wish to do that, then we can move on to the next day, unless there's anything anybody would like to do during the evening hours or the last day segment.
I want to rest.
Denock will spend his time being with his family. He is going to ask Zalpip one question.
Yeah, of course.
Where is she?
She's here.
Yeah.
I'll take you to her. And he will take you to a relatively nice private room where you can see your wife still kind of sealed away in that kind of clear crystal that ever preserved kind of smile on her face. The crystal is slightly damaged, but it's only around like the edges of the crystal, nothing kind of near or the body, and nothing that looks major. Probably most likely just somebody lost their grip and dropped it, or something along those lines. But She is still there and as beautiful as the day you guys sealed her. There's a bed in the corner if you wish to take it, Dinok. And I'll see myself out. And Zalpep will
Teacher.
leave you alone.
Zelpa.
Yes.
For everything. Thank you.
Of course. I've...
For this and helping my parents, everything you've done for me. Thing I can never repay. But I'll do my damnedest to do so.
In a way you already have, Dinok. I've lived for a very long time, and I've never had anybody in my life like you. You're a special one. Good night. And he
Good
will
night.
leave you to spend some time with your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else?
Valnar's gonna do something that may or may not be kind of stupid.
Sure.
Oh
He's
no.
gonna go to a mirror, and he's gonna
Okay.
mind link with himself.
Can you do that?
I
Find
don't
out.
know, but I'm a Kalistar, so
Okay.
we're gonna try to mind link to whatever is inside me, I guess. And just kind of go, if there's any way you can help us, please help us.
Okay.
Interesting.
Make
Hmm.
a...
Oh god.
This is gonna be fun.
I'm gonna have you make me 2 saving throws here. The first one is going to be
Oh god.
is going to be an intelligence saving throw,
Okay.
and the second one is going to be
15.
a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Kalistar advantage.
I mean, technically no, but it doesn't matter.
Oh. Well, the first one was a soft 20.
Yeah. Okay. I will say that as you are kind of attempting this, it hurts. It's like constantly listening to a
Microphone feedback.
Yeah, a feedback loop from like microphones that are too close to one another, or you know exactly the sound that I'm thinking of, and
Yep.
it's
Yep.
constantly that kind of a sound, and as you are kind of pleading with this other conscience, you feel something stir. Something that you've never really felt move before, and it feels weird.
Okay.
But that feeling subsides shortly afterwards, and eventually gets to the point where you can no longer focus. And you do have a headache. I'm not going to make you take any psychic damage because that'd be kind of pointless because you're going to go take a long rest. But it hurts. Actually, hold on. I am going to roll for my sake damage because
Okay.
it could No, okay. I rolled very, very low. I would say maybe ever so faintly you would have like maybe just a small tiny trickle of blood from like your nose, but like it's super, super tiny.
Okay. So, all I did was hurt myself. Fantastic.
That's not new.
You discovered that there is something at the very least kind of listening to you.
Okay. And then it's off to bed.
Okay.
And to sleep off this headache.
Wachi has a demon as his Kalashtar spirit.
I ain't saying nothing.
I was just thinking, like, worst case scenario, it's a demon and he gets a deal from a devil kind of thing.
Wouldn't it be funny if it's been Tenebrous this whole time?
Do you know the implications that would mean?
Oh my god, that would mean technically Valinor at one point was my patron.
There
So,
are
at one
many,
point
I'm
in
not even
time,
gonna.
Valinor was your sugar daddy.
Oh, God.
There's so much wrong with what that would mean is it's catastrophic because
We'd have to
Yeah.
kill our only healer.
no, there's so much wrong with that it quite literally makes my brain hurt.
It would implode all of
Oh,
Mundus.
gosh.
So,
Whew.
next day. Yeah?
Aye.
Alright. Everybody gains the benefits of a long rest.
Yes.
Let's
Finally.
go.
I'm just gonna roll this real quick and see if I wake up with a headache.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm good.
I think you're fine.
Okay. Check my note here for anything extra. Oh, good. All my proficiencies are finally back.
They are?
Magic
Yeah.
bullshit.
Reset.
Oh, and don't forget your temp HP.
How do you press? Oh, long rest. There we go.
LOL.
Okay.
I forgot how to do mine on D&D Beyond. For
It
a
says
second.
long rest.
I know, but I didn't see it.
Well, there's a reason why you and your other are now blind squared.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, that's your
Forever.
official name.
That's probably. I don't think it'll be official name, but you know.
I mean, look at your Discord name.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, you guys have your first time segment. You guys have 4 time segments. How would you like to use them?
Okay, well, we need to detonate the bomb. That still needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
That won't take the entire time. However, it would be wise to wait the rest of the time segment before sending out Rel.
I would almost suggest that we hide nearby when she does that so that we can be there to ensure that,
Something doesn't go wrong.
yeah.
So
Like, for
essentially
example,
provide backup.
one of the bodyguards being there. Worst case scenario, John.
That? Yeah, that would be bad because if there's something going on near the weather dome, you can almost bet that Torben will send one of his bodyguards to the ward to investigate and bolster. That is a very good point. So it sounds like we will be accompanying Rel.
Unless anyone else has something else.
Should we try to assassinate like members of their government?
That might not be a good plan at this moment. If I remember correctly, I believe the objective was to try and keep the council alive. Though if they've been turned into agents of the Sleeping King, I'm not so sure that they'd be fit for duty even after everything has been said and done.
Exactly.
There might be a new council after all of this, but that's not high on our list of priorities.
We can let the politicians figure all that out after.
So, to be clear, there's a bomb going off. Rel is going to send soldiers to investigate, and you guys are going to mess
Accompany
with the
Rel.
weather dome?
Yes. Or at least cover Rel in the case that a bodyguard shows up.
Okay.
If not, we'll at least be able to scope out the location, and if we can get away with it, work on the weather dome now.
Mhm. I will
And
say that all of this will take place in the same time segment, because
let's
real quick.
Mhm.
Okay.
I will turn to Enron and ask, when you left the council, did you basically flip Torben the bird on your way out?
Effectively.
So you going with Rel is not the best idea.
Potentially not, but they also don't. They don't see me as a threat.
Because I
You
was just
guys,
thinking,
on the other hand, are very
Conspicuous?
distinct. That's another word that one could use, yes.
I just had this thought. The paladins and clerics. You and my mother could back up Rel and the small squad she brings with her. Of course, make sure no one knows she is my mother. A little paranoid right now about that. And our group would actually go rescue the paladins and clerics. At the same time that Rel turns on the sun. Hello?
Hello.
I mean,
Just want to make sure, because big silence.
mm-hmm.
What?
I mean, you guys can use these time segments however you wish. Each individual can use
I know,
a time segment. So if that's what you guys want to do, that's absolutely an
I'm-
option.
I'm saying that to the group to get some feedback on that.
I'm trying to think. I mean, we could use the help of the clerics and paladins fighting dead. Did I miss a point where they were being held up somewhere?
Yes.
Yeah.
Currently.
Yeah, I will specify that they are being held separate from the other people of the city, primarily due to like their ability to just like
Nick's
know.
undead.
Yeah, nix undead and effectively boil their water or their blood to affect vampires. It's a weird thing where they like holy individuals have some weird effects on certain undead. based off of their benefits and stuff like that from their god or goddess. The particular paladins that you guys are looking for, or paladins and clerics you guys are looking for, are of the war cleric. So that's why, or the war god. My notes
Kind.
up.
Kind.
Well, kind for the overall game, for the people of Mundus, it's something different.
Give me a second. Nurgle.
Nurgle, yep. So, yeah.
You know, Crazy thought it was a nerd turtle.
Nerdle.
Nurgle.
So is that the plan?
Well, like I
Enran-
said, I'm waiting.
you're waiting for the group
feedback.
Oh,
Yep.
I mean, if we can rescue the paladins and clerics, not only do we increase our ability to keep other members alive, we significantly increase their combat abilities versus undead. It would be a good idea to set them free because then they can help us in future operations.
I agree with that. My one worry and thought is, after all this is over, Rel may or may not lose any political power she may have had.
We just need her to get inside the weather dome.
Yes.
Unless we take it by force.
But I was gonna say, if we turn it back, if we turn the lights on 24 hours, who's to say that they're not going to take it back and turn it back tonight again?
That's why we would send some of the paladins and clerics to hold the fort.
Not just that, but some of the people here as well would be there for defense.
Yeah.
Or
It would be very.
Or we could destroy the weather dome. And that way the natural order of weather could take place.
But then that gives the undead half the day. The whole thing we're doing is removing their advantage entirely.
This is true, but keep in mind, if we are dedicating forces to holding the weather dome, we don't have those forces to aid elsewhere then. So if we did eliminate the weather dome, like your friend has suggested, we would be on even playing fields. Yes, they would still have opportunities, but we also would have these forces now to do with what we needed to.
And there's no chance that they'd be able to take it back.
But I also see the huge advantage to there not being any night.
And it would be very difficult. It would be very difficult for them to be able to get to the weather dome in broad daylight.
You can also rebuild the weather dome if we go against the...
If you destroy the weather dome, it will not be repairable within the 3 to 4 day time segment that you guys have been given.
No. It would be a permanent solution.
Yeah, no, it would
until after the war.
Correct.
Yeah, like during your rebuilding phase.
There is no war in Bossing Say.
You know, I met someone who's never watched Avatar.
Shame. I mean, I can't really say that. I'm sure my wife hasn't seen it. Anyway.
I didn't make it through. Got sidetracked by too many other things.
I mean, if you go back to it, that will fix the problem.
Good luck.
So. Is that what you guys are planning on doing then?
Probably be the best course of action.
Okay.
Let's start by getting the paladins and the clerics, and then we'll decide what to do with the weather dome from there.
Well, again, my plan was to do that when the weather dome is clicked to day.
Because if you guys do it simultaneously, it uses one time segment. If you don't do it simultaneously, it uses 2.
We could go with the original Denox plan, and then if that all goes to crap, we could just blow it up. They end up taking it back or something, because God knows if they take it back, their defenses will be a lot bigger around it.
You see, I'm with Valinor on that one. That way, we also don't have to dedicate our own troops to defending a stationary target, and we can remain on the move.
Fair. Okay. Before we decide what to do with the weather dome, we should absolutely take it first. We have to acquire it one way or the other. Then,
we can take it.
if it is a defensible position, we can defend it. If it is not so defensible, we're going to have to tear it down. I'm not sure what that entails, to be honest.
The weather dome would be like the effectively the maintenance hatch would be kind of like just basically look like kind of like an old warehouse. Most likely only a few entrances, but they'd probably be large entrances. Also, I want to let you guys know to think about when you guys want to go rescue these paladins and clerics, if there's anything you guys would like to do to aid you in the rescue. And then I would also like you guys to think about how you would like to go about rescuing them. And I mean like brute force, stealth, etc. Just keep that in mind. We'll come to that eventually. I think we want to figure
Improvise stealth mission. You start out with stealth, and then when you inevitably get caught, you kill them all, because then when there's no witnesses, you're still stealthy.
This calls for a rocket launcher.
I snuck in and I fired an RPG.
That plane contains
Stealth kill with bazooka.
that plane contains a nuclear warhead, right? This ought to do the trick. Anyway,
You were supposed to infiltrate the facility. Hey, facility's open to the air.
Anyway, is the plan to use two time segments or one?
One.
Okay.
Since I can't get answers.
Okay, one time segment.
Okay. So you guys are going to attempt to hit both at the same time. That's a great idea.
Because my plan is when we are in position
Mhm.
for Valinor to use sending to whoever has the trigger for the bomb, that'll go off. And then a little bit later, Rel will be at the weather dome maintenance area. Her plan will begin. And when she gets it to go day, we do what we need to do because we've been.
Oh, I
there,
see.
we've been
We're
looking at
we're
the-
sending Relin to turn on the sun.
Yes. Relin and Relin.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That sounds good.
Rel,
So-
Enran, and Denox's mother as a healing option.
Okay. That will add a bonus to the roll.
She's going to
not-
be disguised so that
Mhm.
no one knows it is her.
I mean, I'm gonna just say easy enough. All right. So
Because Denox at this point is paranoid about losing family, but he also knows
yeah.
it's
So speaking of Denox, roll a d20
Lord.
for that group.
I hate that you chose me. You know my rolls are shit.
It's your plan.
So scared. I'm gonna roll it and I'm not gonna look.
Yeah. Don't worry, other people will have to roll eventually.
11.
11.
Fuck.
Okay. Keep in mind, they have bonuses You don't know,
I know,
what those
it's just-
bonuses are. So. Okay.
It just makes me worried.
Okay. I will keep that in mind. So this is for sabotaging, or sorry, making it day.
Ooh, this is suspenseful.
Okay.
Mm,
So,
But at the same time, I'm ready to get some revenge on these guys.
well, I am gonna break some hearts here. This kind of a mission is beneath you, which means I'm not gonna make you go through a combat encounter.
Oh, okay.
What kind of resources are you guys going to attempt to utilize?
to rescue them?
To rescue them, yes. And
Whatever
I was
intel they
going
have
to-
on the location.
well, no,
I was
here,
going to start by having Asta stealth around to tell us, lay of the land, unit numbers, location, stuff like that.
So here is how this works. Depending on what you guys do with spells and other resources, you gain a bonus to your roll. The I'm not going to tell you what these bonuses and stuff are. I'm just going to make flat number, have those numbers kind of be in my head. You guys, you can spend as many resources as you want. Like if Deanoch wanted to blow all of his spell slots, he could do so. But he would not have those spell slots for any of the remaining time segments. Okay? And then, depending on how much resources you guys spend, will determine overall success and damage taken. You guys aren't going to take a ton of damage, period. It's just mostly going to be like chip damage.
Okay. So once we get the troop placements from Asta, I feel like a lightning bolt well lined up through most of the enemies would be a valuable experience.
And what level?
5th level.
Okay.
I'm also thinking about sending in Tim under greater invisibility.
Okay. And that's what level spell? Remind me? I think it's a 5th, right?
That's a 3rd.
Greater invisibility?
Yep.
I don't...
It's concentration for 1 minute.
I really feel like that is incorrect. Holy cow, that sounds like a really strong 3rd level spell.
It's only for a minute.
It's
Mhm.
4th
a
level.
Fourth level. Okay. I couldn't remember. I thought it was
Did I
5th,
say
but...
3rd or 4th? I
You said
think I
3rd.
said 4th.
You said 3rd.
Fair enough.
No. That's why I was so confused, because I was like, really? Because invisibility is a 2nd level spell. Like,
It's
why
4th.
would... Yeah,
My
yeah,
bad.
yeah. No, you're good. Okay.
I wish it was longer.
You need the meta magic for duration. I don't remember what it's called. But to be fair, greater invisibility is for combat. Invisibility is for stealth, effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like I said, just before Tim goes in, I'm going to slap him with greater invisibility and let him go ham.
Okay. Valinar Asta's using the spell slot for Pass Without a Trace, I would imagine.
Sounds sensible since she is the information
Yes,
gathering.
So mark off a... What'd
How
she
many
say?
spells? She said
Just
she.
one.
Okay.
Yeah. So mark off one use of her Pass Without a Trace, and then Valinar and Xenos, is there any resources you guys would like to utilize?
That's what I was trying to figure out when I lost internet, and I just now got it back.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
Wait,
buddy.
how did you stay here in our conversation?
Phone.
I'm I'm doing
Magic.
Discord through my phone because my internet's been acting really weird.
That's why you've been going in and out from Roll20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't
I
have a
gotcha.
lot that can really
oh,
affect.
there it was. That's the spell I was looking for.
I mean, I would just commit my familiar to scouting.
Oh.
Like you said,
Okay.
that's the biggest thing that he can do for like this type of mission, I think. So
Okay.
until
Your
we,
familiar is a raven, correct?
yes,
What are the local wildlife around here right now?
There isn't.
Is it?
It's okay, they won't see it. I'm assuming we're scouting out while it's still dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at the same time.
So here's Valinar's contribution, by the way. If we'll go through. There we go.
Ew.
9 traps. Okay.
I didn't know you had that.
He never has it prepared, and it's never come up, probably.
Oh, we've
Yeah.
found traps before, just without Valinar's magic.
Well, it's because every time we've come across them, it's probably not been prepared, right?
Exactly.
I prepared it after this last long rest because I figured this might be a good thing to have if we're going near the weather dome.
Works here.
Or
too.
anywhere for that matter.
Yeah. All right.
Or
cool.
here too.
All right. So I'm going to have y'all make some checks.
Oh no.
Denoc, Arcana, Valinar,
Dirty 20.
Ooh.
you're using fine.
Yeah, I see that
crafts.
one.
That's a spell. I will say Valinar use roll investigation.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, you're gonna have a decent bonus due to the spell.
Okay.
Katya,
15.
make a spell ability check. So this would be a charisma check for you.
Okay, so just charisma. My proficiency.
Oh, you're
22.
good.
Ooh.
Asta, I want a stealth check with the pass without a trace bonus, and then Xenos, I want a perception check.
okay.
And
So,
we have-
Katya, I'll do the thing.
Asta, stealth.
30. Got
30.
it.
Bad, but I mean 20 plus
30.
10,
Yep.
30.
Okay. And then
And
perception
then-
for Xenos.
Yes. What's sad is 30 is not the best she can do for stealth.
Now, we've seen her best. We know.
And then
Ooh-wee.
30 is a 5 on the die, by the way, for with passive without a trace. So
20 for Xenos.
and then what were you trying to say, Denoc? Something about Kadia's spell?
Does her backlash hit?
Ooh.
That's a good point. We'll come to that in a moment. So we
I
have
didn't think about that.
So we have
I don't.
20
That's why
Arcana
my
for
counter
Denoc.
spell is always ready.
Yeah, 20 on Arcana for Denoc, a 15 with bonuses for Valinar. 20 something, 22 for Katya, 30 for stealth on Asta. Okay. So yeah, everybody would have either met or beat the DCs. So. Okay.
Who met?
Probably me.
Everybody except for Asta and Katya.
Nice.
Um. What was I gonna say? Oh, right. Roll a D100. Let's do it.
One
Oh,
hundred.
Oh,
I don't think you've had this one yet.
I have.
oh
Oh, you
god.
have?
It really has no bearing here unless I could just throw a firebolt every few seconds for the next minute.
I mean, it would just go into the combat effectively that you would have. So
Yeah, we'll go with that.
yeah. So technically, you would allow it because it would be useful, and you would utilize it during the combat that technically ensues, but not drastic. But it's not like we're not going through it. So
Gotcha.
with that, as part of the encounter itself, everybody takes 20 points of damage.
Pain.
And that's
remember, temp 13.
Yep.
Yeah.
So really, it's only 7
7.
points of damage.
so, but
So much.
it is that is effectively what happens, what the damage that you take through the entirety of the combat encounter. However, because you guys all rolled above a 20, you do succeed in rescuing all of the paladins without people getting, or paladins and clerics, without anybody dying or anybody being notified of the break. Now, that is not to say that they won't notice that they have gone missing, but they have not been able to alert the higher ups of who was present effectively.
Good.
And as you guys would emerge from within the building that it has housing the paladins and clerics, you would see that it is day.
Nice.
And I would say it is easy enough for you guys to return the paladins and clerics to the mountain, for you guys to further discuss what you would like to do with the next time segment. That was your guys' cue to talk.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm catching up on news. That was a very successful operation.
Maybe head over to the
To the weather dome.
to the weather
Yes, let's see if we
control
can get.
station. Excuse me. Head over to the dome with the paladins and clerics to see if setting up a defensive perimeter is the best course of action, or nuking the place and dipping.
I will say that the paladins and clerics will need to spend a time segment with Lass in order to kind of recover a little bit, because they have been effectively imprisoned for you don't know how long.
Right.
Well, I mean, we can cover for them until they're ready.
Yeah.
you
We
do
don't.
that.
We don't need them with us to scope out the place.
Okay.
Well, what I was
We'll send for them if we feel that they are needed.
I was thinking we were just going to go there immediately.
Oh yeah, they go home. Oh right, because you said Vass,
Lost.
Lost, whatever her name is. Would
LAAS.
LAAS. Okay, I needed that name. So she would essentially be at the weather dome already then.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That's where we'll go. Makes perfect sense.
Okay. And you guys are wanting to determine whether or not the weather dome should be destroyed or
Defended.
a defended position. I mean, that is going to kind of be up to you. It is a warehouse-like building. It has two main entrances, with like these massive kind of like open doors where you would be able to put like in our day and age massive machinery into, or drive it massive machinery into. Um, and then there's like a office in an area that controls all of the settings and stuff like that for the weather dome. If you guys would like to attempt to hold the weather dome, you could do so, or you could choose to destroy it. But you would
I would know.
you would probably know that if you were chose to hold it, you would not have the clerics or paladins for any other missions or things like that going forward.
How many clerics and paladins did we rescue?
In total, maybe 15.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that few.
I mean,
Yeah, it would require them all to hold that place.
Yeah, it's not like you got. I mean, these are individuals who have dedicated their lives to the temple. These are individuals who are not like, when threatened with death, are like, okay, we give up, we revoke our god. These are people where it's like, we will spit in the face of death if they try to deny us our god, kind of a people. So
not many of them left.
Yeah, so that's kind of what they are. That's why there's not a lot of them, but they're tough. So this one is kind of a you guys decision. The clerics and paladins are thankful enough that they are willing to hold this place if that's what you would desire of them. The only thing they ask is for some time to rest and recover and to arm themselves.
Well, maybe we should weigh the pros and cons of each scenario. If we defend this location, we have perpetual sunlight. And that would keep the vampire forces from being able to effectively do anything above ground at any point. However,
Say for
that means
non-vampire servant.
correct.
Yeah.
Therefore, most of their forces will end up below ground in the catacomb, where they will likely regroup and plan, knowing that something's up. It would be difficult to catch any single one of them solo, and both of Torben's bodyguards are still out there. But this also means we can use the time afforded to us to complete other tasks, such as tearing down their arch gate, rescuing prisoners, and whatnot, since all their operations would be effectively halted.
So I have a weird question, and I feel like I've asked this before, but I don't really remember. Can I, like, just walking to the weather dome, can I tell if this is real sunlight or if this is like a fake kind of sunlight? If that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think you peeked on it last time you were here. While it is, I'm not gonna make you guys check on it because you guys could just ask about it as well. While it is artificial, there are parts of it that are real. So it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of the best way that I can describe it. It takes, like, effectively some of the giant bulb, like, it takes like giant light bulbs basically, and powers sunlight through them. So it's like part real sunlight, but also part not. With your knowledge, I mean, I'll say go ahead and make a religion check, because to see about the effectiveness on vampires and whatnot.
Wow. Okay, that's not good.
7.
7. You are unsure if it will affect vampires or other undead that have sunlight sensitivity.
Okay. All right. I don't really have much I can add to this conversation then. That I haven't already said.
Well, obviously,
Looking
the
at the
sun
location and the
using.
area around here, I'm not sure.
I would say clearly the sun has to have some properties that the vampires find
Uncomfortable. Deadly?
yes uncomfortable or deadly, or they wouldn't have had any reason to shut it off in the first place. So clearly, it is a weapon that can be used against them, if nothing else, but to buy us more time to do what we've got to do. After we
think, like-
accomplish everything we need to above ground, we can just destroy the weather dome, and when they start to pour back out during the night, we can start tracking down their high priority targets.
As long as those high priority targets aren't already coming after us.
The other question too that I have is, if we choose to maintain the weather dome, would it make it a target for Torben's minions? Do you think he would send forces to retake it? To bring back the eternal night? This will be Ralph
Potentially.
speaking, by the way.
Potentially, but from what I've gathered, and maybe you have more intel than we do, a good portion of their forces are undead or vampires at the very least, and would be unable to effectively infiltrate this location as long as the sun is out.
Undead are
So-
undead are not affected
Yeah.
by sunlight. Most undead, I guess I should clarify. There are some, but things like zombies are. It's, it doesn't affect them in any way.
But they're a lot
After
easier
all-
to take out than vampires.
For you, maybe yes.
It would also be easier to see them coming.
True.
I think our best course of action for now is to hold this position for a little while. And once we've accomplished more of our missions in the sunlight, we can just destroy the dome entirely and let them come back out.
So what missions do we have in the sunlight? Because we have no guarantee that the gate's out in the sunlight, or what else was it? I've lost
Okay.
track of everything we were doing.
Yeah, there's a lot that just got dumped on us today.
Yeah.
Teehee.
Let's see.
I can provide you guys with anything that you need, by the way. If you want it now or after stream or in between games, I can provide all of that for you at a later time.
Well, we have to take away their we had to take away their food supply. So we had to rescue the population that had been taken. We have to find out the weapons that they are trying to create and where they are. We have to tear down the Torben statue, just for fun. That'll be easy.
Also make sure it's not some kind of magical focus.
Right. We need to figure out where the Archgate is being kept and deal with that. That's a pretty high priority. We have to take out Torben's bodyguards. And we have to get more information about the town hall defenses and otherwise, so that we can take the fight to Torben himself. It would also be a good idea to find out what exactly he's searching for down in the catacomb. Though that'll be very difficult if a lot of their forces go underground.
Do we happen to know if he turned John into a vampire?
I don't think that
Because
information
he-
made privy.
Because if he didn't, then it's very likely that he might just send John to come to the Weather Dome.
Give me one moment. I am pulling up the information that I have for John.
We were told he's one of Torben's bodyguards,
Yes.
but whether it's mind control or if he's been turned, don't know.
Maybe we should do a strike team.
We are the strike team.
No,
Right.
like a specific strike on different individuals.
That's
Like-
what we're trying to figure out. Oh, if what Denox said was true of the holy men here, they essentially have no use to the vampires. They cannot be used for food, so there's no point in keeping them around. Which means, because of how their blood work, and because of how John is as a paladin, he couldn't be turned, could he?
I found the
Not-
information.
I mean, that
Not
depends,
against
Claudia.
his will.
Our information does not show that he is a vampire.
Okay. Well,
Given that he is a paladin, as you say, it is unlikely that he is a vampire.
So then either direct control, or he willingly got. If I remember correctly, he broke his oath with his god before we even met him.
I also need to be going. I unfortunately need to attend a council meeting. We have one every day, basically at noon. Well, what we think is noon. So I have to be heading that way.
How are you going to deal with this?
I will see what Torben wishes to do, and we will do what we can to attempt to accommodate without sacrificing our stance too much, but also without leading him to understand what is going on. Trying to play
Oh,
both
that's
sides
right.
effectively.
We were just told that the afternoon has the council meeting. And then, depending on the reports he gets, that's where he sends his bodyguards.
Hmm?
Since the Weather Dome is such an important location, it is very likely that his bodyguards, both of them, are probably going to be sent here. We can use this as an opportunity to prepare an ambush.
It is unlikely that he will send both to one location.
But we should be prepared for at least one of them.
Well, you want to be able to strike both of them at the same time. Imagine. Otherwise, I don't know what Torben's mindset would do, if that makes. I feel like if he were to lose one of his guards, the other one would never leave his side.
So, when he asks for your report, what are you going to tell him?
That it is a matter that I have been looking into and don't have any information yet to provide.
Right.
So you may be walking to your death.
Wouldn't call it my death. Torben trusts me. Don't know why, but he does. I think he believes that either money, power, or blackmail can buy anyone's loyalty. And so, I think he sees past it.
So we will pray that he is a fucking idiot.
Well, we know he's an idiot because he picked a fight with us. And he killed me.
Yeah, well, last time he won. I mean, what?
Yeah. He killed me once. It's not going to happen again. That was his first mistake.
Anyway. With that, I will say Rel does leave you guys.
Deanoch will pull her into a hug before she leaves.
She will reciprocate.
Be safe.
I will do my best. She leaves. So, time segment. What do you guys think you want to attempt to do?
Shore up our defenses. We definitely need to be prepared that one of his champions is coming our way. If nothing happens, cool. But really, until we either see a champion has approached or is approaching as one, or two, that my train of thought just derailed.
Seems to be happening a lot to all of us tonight.
Oh, what the hell? It's like I was rolling a check, and then all of a sudden,
Switch to a nat 1.
yeah. Nice. Okay, so I think what I'm trying to say is we should wait here in the case that he does send a champion. If no champion arrives, that would suggest that Rel would be coming, and she can give us more information. So we either wait to ambush or we wait for information.
Okay. I will say, during this next time segment, then, you guys can take a short rest. I will
Okay.
mark off the next time segment, because it will take a little while for any information or anything to happen.
Also, the paladins and clerics are resting.
Yep. Yep. The Lass is taking care of them at the moment. Let's see who rolled for people last time. Deanoch did, I believe.
Deanoch.
I did.
So, let's make Valinar do it.
Who?
Oh,
Valinar,
okay.
roll a d20.
My cousin's life is in your hands.
14.
Alrighty. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Was that Morty?
No, that was me.
Oh, Rick, I think this is a bad idea.
Shut up and get in the portal.
Shut up and get in the car, Morty. We don't have time for this bullshit. The fuck in the car. Sorry, I don't mean to offend.
All right. Yeah, not gonna lie, Valinar coming in a little clutch there. because after several hours, Rel does return, and she basically is like, she goes, I was able to convince Torben that I would look into the matter personally, and that I would attempt to do what I could to fix the weather dome. And I told him I'd head there straight away after the council meeting. He agreed not to send anyone, as I told him that I didn't need any help.
At that,
Just
Denox
gonna-
immediately starts.
I'm just gonna, yeah. Same. Start looking around. I want to look around for followers.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my
Tails.
best to make sure she was not followed.
Oh,
Here she was. I will have no idea. I'm like, okay.
hey, Katia, Rel's here.
Who?
Oh, where did you walk in?
He's playing helicopter in the corner again because he forgot.
Woo!
Doesn't appear that she has been followed. I think. It doesn't appear that she's been followed.
Oh God.
So either they have Asta level stealth, or she actually hasn't been followed. God, that's a terrifying aspect.
Both are terrifying.
So, but
Hey.
I fear that if I don't return it to the Eternal Night, that he will send a lot of people, and it will compromise my position within the council. I would recommend that we either fix it or destroy it.
We can't afford to.
What?
We
What
can't.
if we? Sorry.
Mhm. Go ahead.
What if we fix it, but we set it up to blow up afterwards?
Rig it
So
to
we make
blow.
it look like it's fixed for a little while, but then it blows up.
We would need another bomb.
You do have a time segment that you could use to attempt to create one.
Or Volnar, how many castings of sending do you have left? You could get a hold of Zalper, ask him to bring another
Actually, I have
bomb.
all my castings left right now, so yeah. I'll use sending to ask Zalpit for a bomb.
You want a bomb or a bomb with a timer? Or a detonator?
Fuse. Detonator, I think, would be best.
Okay. With wanting a detonator, he will have to spend a time segment to attempt to create one. You guys cool with that?
How long does Rel have before, or does Rel know? Like if she has like 24 hours to figure it out, or
So, that's a great question. Rel, how smart are you today? Wow, pretty smart.
Should be.
I would
She's a
imagine
smart little cookie.
I would imagine till evening, because if we're to make it look like this was destroyed, it needs to have the sun set. Because if the sun doesn't set, then he would know if I turn around and say they broke it, that I could potentially be lying.
This is.
So we need to fix
would-
it.
This would be your third time segment. Effectively, you would need to
Be
fix it
heading
to the
back to
Eternal
the
Night
camp.
and get
In time to blow it up.
you would basically have to so in order to if you wanted to make that work, you would have to Zalpip would have to create the bomb, and towards the end of that time segment, most likely, you would have to return it to the night, the Eternal Night. And then you would have one time segment remaining for the day, which you guys would probably want to use to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which means you could attempt to place the bomb the following morning. Or you could have somebody like Boblin place the bomb.
Yeah. I mean, if we once they have the bomb made and delivered, we can return to sleep. Detonate it in the morning.
I was just saying that because if you guys wanted to use this time segment for something else while the sun was up, you could.
Did we ever get a location on where the art gate is being kept?
No, you would have to attempt to find it.
Then let's go rescue the prisoners while we have daylight to do so. That would at least keep that would keep the vampires from being able to move them. And probably reduce the number of forces we have to take out.
Send the clerics and paladins back to the base. That way they can be preparing for worst case scenario, an all-out war.
Mm-hmm. I will also say, just for your sake, for your guys' understanding of rescuing this citizens, attempting to rescue all of the citizens at one time is a massive operation.
Then we'll get some out.
Because they're not all held in one location. They're spread out, and
Then we'll hit one of their camp.
One camp. Okay. I will also say it might be easier just to get a few out at a time if you wanted to attempt to do that using, stealth tactic.
We could certainly stealth. And if the stealth path fails, fight.
But do everything to prevent fights.
Yes.
And stealth them out first.
Okay. All right, if that is the case, then we'll have Katya roll a d20 for Zalpip.
Phew. Oh, that's a good
my
one.
fuck.
18. I saw it like 2. No.
You have no
I
idea.
heard you go 2, and I'm like, oh god.
I'm like, no, I want to burn inspiration.
You have no tight. You have no idea how tight my sphincter just got.
That thing.
Oh god.
A 2, an 18, a 5, and an 18. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and mark that there. And then for the group of you, for the rest of you, I want to have you roll stealth.
So I'll roll stealth.
Because that's what you guys are wanting to do, correct? Rescue
Right.
the prisoner stealthily. And do you guys? Well, before you start rolling, anybody wanting to use any resources?
Specifically looking at the person who has passed without a trace.
Yeah.
Find traps. Okay.
Beyond that, most of what I've got is attack spells. I mean, I could use Dimension Door
to your stealth check, by the way.
I could Dimension Door in and Dimension Door out with a prisoner using two castings, but each attempt means another explosion, potentially.
Well, maybe just trust in your stealth check.
Yeah.
Trust and pass without a trace spell check or stealth check.
I'll bend luck on mine a little bit.
Does Asta have the spell slots? I believe she.
I always
Yes.
have to remind myself. Just to roll a d4.
So yeah, take the benefits of pass without a trace, and I'll have everybody else begin rolling stealth checks.
Okay, that's a 14 stealth.
So that means that's
12,
24.
so 22.
That's interesting, considering that what it landed on for that first one was the 2. But I will take a 26.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm at 24 then, actually.
Asta's at 28 and Xenos is at 29.
All right. You guys managed to rescue some of the population of Offking. I'll say you guys probably managed to rescue about 50 or so people.
And get them back to the mountain.
Yeah. While there is some
I'm just going to start calling it HQ because that's easier.
Yeah, probably.
while there is some close calls and some tightening of one sphincters
Sphincters.
during the mission, eventually you guys get everybody out that you can get them out and back to the HQ.
And this way, whenever we talk about it, if anyone overhears, well, they just know HQ. They don't know where.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, and then you guys are gonna go back.
I feel Torben's going to be interrogating somebody. Tell me where the rebel base is. Never.
And get some Z's. And I honestly think that because it's 4 minutes till midnight, that this is a good place to stop for the night.
Yeah.
One thing for clarification, while we're resting, Boblin is Boblin. Is that right?
The fuck did you call him twice?
Boblin, which is from Twilight Princess. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
But Boblin is going to plant the bomb, correct?
Is that what you want him to do?
I thought that was what we agreed on.
Group consensus. I just want to make sure.
I think that'd be a smart choice.
Again, Tim will be ghosting him.
Literally.
Basically, his "oh shit, get the fuck out of there" moment.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
He will be running under orders of protecting Boblin.
Cool. That means one more person gets to roll a d20. Who hasn't done it? Xenos, you haven't done it. You get to do it. Roll a d20 for Boblin.
Fuck. Blind, I swear, if you fuck this roll.
Natural 10.
Natural 10.
Okay.
And it was Asta, so I have to roll again, right?
No.
Nope.
Nice try.
Sorry, I'm trying to think what his overall bonus would be in my noggin.
I mean, it depends on what you made him, because I never gave classes for them.
You know what? I think he would just make the DC on a 10.
Woo.
Because I'm thinking, well, because
Undercover of night and nobody really guarding the place right now.
I mean, yes, but patrols are the big thing here.
Right.
So, because in my brain, he is roguish, expertise in stealth. I'm imagining his proficiency bonus is somewhere around a +3, which means with a dexterity of 4, he just makes the DC. I guess I can put down Boblin plants a bomb.
The Boblin the Bomber.
You know, if he doesn't start getting rolls in Artificer for bomb making, I will be very surprised.
If he does, I am changing his name to Junkrat. Exactly.
Just do it anyways.
Ooh, splody.
So, with that, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and sign out for the night because it's basically midnight. Everything so far has gone incredibly well.
So far. Shit hits the fan next time.
So
Maybe.
far.
But yeah, thank you guys
I
so
swear,
much for coming out.
I'm going to get some kind of stomach disease from how worried I'm getting.
Good. I mean,
No ulcers allowed.
not necessarily good, but I'm glad that you're
Actually stressed about this?
Yeah.
It's immersion.
Involved.
Being involved. I really love seeing that.
I can't wait till it's my turn to worry about my characters' families.
Get through
Well,
this
we've
one
got to get
first.
through Valinar's first.
Yeah, one at a time.
So, that being said, thank you guys all so much for coming out. Have a good weekend. And see you next time. Good night.
Not all.
Night all.
Night, y'all.
That